All right, great. We're live now, so take it away.
Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to everyone on this freezing evening. Welcome to our webinar where we're going to be announcing some winners of our Diwali Arts competition. So we are the Jain and Hindu Organ Donation Steering Group. We wanted to do this event to celebrate everyone who has entered the fantastic competition and also honor our winners and runners-up. I wanted to welcome our judges for the competition who are joining us today, and a very special welcome to Pujya Shamniji, who has taken out time out of her diary to join us today to help launch our...
Talking to somebody, I'm not talking, that person is talking here.
To help launch our new organ donation leaflet. We are honored to have been able to work on this campaign, which was to help raise awareness during the period of Diwali, and particularly talk about organ donation as bringing light into life. Our winners come from across the UK, so this was a national competition. We are really happy with some of the really innovative work that the winners have, that the entrants have done. And of course, whether you win or you don't win today, you are a winner because you joined in and you took part. So let's get comfortable. We're going to do this over an hour, and we have some speakers with us. We're going to see a really lovely film that we made for Diwali. And in between, we will be welcoming our winners and announcing them and also looking at their entries. So without further ado, I want to welcome the chairman of the Jain and Hindu Organ Donation Steering Group, Kirit Modi, who is going to be giving us a short update about the progress that the group has made over the year. Thank you everyone for joining us this evening, and let's do this.
Thank you, Prafula. If we can move, can we get rid of the slide, Neeraj? Is it possible? Okay. Can I first say that this is a very important occasion for JHOD. We were set up over 2 years ago, and a group of us, all volunteers, joined to establish JHOD. There are about 30 of us. They're organ donors, the recipients, the donor families, community leaders, doctors, and others. And if you want details of who we are, we've got the details on our website. Now, as Prafula said, this year's Diwali campaign we ran has been amazing. And it had two parts. It had a video, which we'll show you later on today, and this amazing arts competition. And today we're celebrating everyone who entered the arts competition. So firstly, my congratulations to all the children who participated in the competition, as well as their parents. I'm sure the parents have been supporting and encouraging their children. The judges, a number of us who looked at all the entries, we were really impressed by the overall standard and the innovation which is there. And the two ideas linked about organ donation and the environment, you know, climate change and so on. And they worked really well. And I hope that when you see the winning entries, which we'll show you in a few minutes, that you will be equally impressed by them. We also ran a Paryushan campaign this year. And one part of that campaign was to publish a Jain leaflet from a religious perspective on organ donation. We published a Hindu leaflet similar to that a couple of years ago, and that is on our website. Now, the Jain leaflet was designed and printed by Ramila Ben and Raj Chauhan, and I'm most grateful to both of them for all their support. And it's a great honor for us that we've got Pujya Samniji, who has kindly agreed to launch the Jain leaflet today. As I said, all the members of the Jain steering group are volunteers, and I want to thank all of them for the amazing work they have done for both the campaigns, the Paryushan campaign and the Diwali campaign. Now, as you know, we work very closely with NHS Blood and Transplant. And we've done so for many years, and this year was no exception. So I'm delighted that Umar Malik, who is the partnership manager for NHS Blood and Transplant, is with us this evening. Thank you, Umar, for your support, and I'm very pleased now to hand over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kirit Bhai. Thank you everyone as well for joining. I hope you're all safe and warm. I've got a little monster here to distract me along the next few minutes. It's past her bedtime, but she thought she'd join in with us, and her mum's gone out for the evening, so she's having a little bit of a late night in her pajamas. I was looking out to see who else is in their pajamas ready for bed, but no one else. I was expecting to see Kirit Bhai or Prafula maybe in their pajamas ready for bed. But no, honestly, thank you so much for allowing me to say a quick few words, and to the hosts and JHOD and the fantastic young people as well who submitted some amazing pieces of work. Honestly speaking, it's the most fun I've had in quite a few months of working at the NHSBT, judging the applications. So in a week where I had to judge much more serious things to do with projects and things to do with interviews for new people joining the organization, it was great to just take a step back and see the creative kind of work that you all pull together to raise awareness about organ donation in such a creative way. NHSBT exists to save lives through blood and organ donation, and thousands of people's lives across the UK are saved each year by organ donation, but at the same time, there's still so many more lives that we could make a difference to. And with projects like the Art Project and the brilliant JHOD leaflet that's put together as well, they all help to encourage those kind of discussions with family members as well. And it's great to see. It's great to see lots of parents and kids here today as well. The need for conversations is massive amongst our Asian community. And starting at NHSBT just a few months ago, it was quick for me to realize that the world of organ and blood donation is very new to me. And only if you've been affected by it or a family member's been affected by it, then only then you would have a true full understanding of the world of organ and blood donation. And if you hadn't been affected, then those conversations are most likely to not have happened. And reading the stats about the need amongst Asians specifically made it also very, very clear. Just to read off a few of them to give you an indication of the need and just to show how important these projects are. When approached about organ donation in the hospital over the past year, only about 40% of Black, Asian and mixed race families agreed to support donation compared to about 70% of white families. So a massive difference there. And in 2020 and 21, Asian people represented 3% of deceased donors, 13% of those receiving transplants, and 17% of those on the transplant waiting list. So there's a huge amount of awareness work that still needs to happen. And it got me thinking, if I'm honest, when I first joined, that why are the figures like this? I mean, when our cultures and faiths are very, very charitable, very, very giving, and our scriptures are very, very important in giving guidance around being very charitable in our lives, I thought, why is it that specifically with regards to organ and blood donation that isn't there? And the only conclusion I could come to, and this was myself as well, I had never thought about organ donation. I had never thought about blood donation. And I thought, just like the Jain faith, just like the Hindu faith, the Islamic faith is also very charitable, very giving. Our cultures are very giving and very charitable. But why hadn't I thought about this? And the only conclusion that I had was that it was never spoken about. It was never spoken about in our families, in our circles, in our places of worship, in our school, in our education setting, in university, amongst friends. It was never really discussed. And so projects like this, both the brilliant leaflet that JHOD have launched, and more importantly, your amazing, amazing creative pieces of work, they really ensure that we're discussing these issues within our families, young and old, within our faith and spiritual teaching, at the heart of the matter, and coming to a much, much more informed decision about whether we want to move forward with organ donation. So a massive, massive thank you once again to all the young people that got involved. And I'm hoping we can do this more often, because I'd rather be judging that than judging some of the other stuff I have to go through. So thank you.
Thank you, Umar, for those words and words of encouragement for our young people who have entered the competition this year. And of course, they entered last year as well. I wanted to say hello to your little helper, but she's run away now. So thank you very much for joining us and encouraging these conversations, because without the fantastic support that we get from NHS Blood and Transplant, we wouldn't be able to do some of the great work that we are doing. What is your little helper called, Umar? What's her name?
Little one's name is Nusaiba.
Hello, Nasiba.
Hello. Say hello. She's very loud normally, very loud.
Thank you for joining us. Right, so what I wanted to do was introduce our judges now, and then we will hear who has won the youngest of our categories, which is 4 to 7 year olds category. So this competition was judged, as I said earlier, it was a national competition and judged by Kirit Modi, Minu Chawla, Kavita, Umar, as you've just heard, Dr. Sunil Daga, Harpreet Matharu, who is a special organ donation nurse in Birmingham, and Shivam Kakkad, who is a fantastic hero, actually, because they donated his father's organs a few years ago when he passed away. So those were our judges. The judging panel had quite a tough job to do to find the winners amongst the fantastic entries we got. And to announce the winners for this category, I want to welcome Bharti Bika, who has been leading this work for the Diwali campaign this year. And Bharti Ben and her team have done a superb job in introducing this competition, the concept, and then getting it promoted widely and to achieve the entries that we did do. So Bharti Ben, over to you to let us know who's won this category.
Thank you, Professor Ben. Before we make the announcements, I do want to say a huge thank you to the parents of who've entered this category and who are online and are still awake, because I know it is way past their bedtime. But as Kirit Bai said, the work that's gone into creating these individual sculptures, which you can see online here, was actually overwhelming. Really impressed with the quality of entries and how each of them showcased an organ that can be donated, but also how it linked into the use of recycled material. So well done. So here are the short list of entries for the 4 to 7 categories. I do want to, before we make the announcement for the winners, if I may, as we have some of the judges, I just want to ask Omar particularly, because I know you've got a little one, what actually for you stood out about these entries for this particular category?
Just how creative they were, really. I think I have a little one who's 5, who's probably going to run in a minute as well. And when I was judging them last week, she was also having a look at them with me. They caught her attention more than anything else I've been doing usually. So my wife also runs some art classes, so it's much more creative than some of the stuff that she does. So just the use of materials and how creative they were. I love the eye and the simplicity of the eye. done by Clara Jane, and Maya's heart piece as well, and the bottle used by Zara, and the really cool eyelashes by Shay Patel as well. It was really hard to choose from, to be honest. Especially, I really felt the youngest ones just deserved an award. All of them.
Yes, there were. It was great to see how they've sort of made the connection between sort of the organ and using recycled material as well. So no further ado, I think we're delighted, first of all, to announce the runner-up in this category. And the runner-up is Zara. So congratulations, Zara. You're one of our runners-up. I don't know if you can hear it. Zara, well done to you.
Thank you.
Jenica, I don't know if Zara is able to, is she shy?
Of course, yeah.
Well done. I think that was a really simple, innovative idea. So well done to Zara, and you'll be getting your e-vouchers sent to you soon.
Thank you very much.
And can I just say, everybody that participated in this category will be getting a certificate as well. So to announce the winner. So the winner for this category is Mia Taylor. Congratulations, Mia.
Thank you.
Well done to you. That's a really lovely piece of art you've done there. We were really impressed by you, what you've done.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy making that? Oh, she's gone shy. Well, we'll be sending your prize to you, to Mummy. So congratulations, well done. So now I'm going to introduce Manhar Bhai. Manhar Bhai is the chairman of Bannock Council, who will be launching with Pujya Swamiji the Jain leaflet. So Manhar Bhai, to you.
Good evening, Jai Jinendra and Jai Sri Krishna. On behalf of JHOD, I welcome Samni Pratibha Pugyaji to this event. Samni ji is a well-known figure in the Jain community. Dr. Samni Pratibha Pugyaji is a senior disciple of His Holiness Acharya Mahasramana ji. She received her PhD on Preksha meditation, history and methods from SOAS, University of London. She is a visiting research fellow at SOAS, working on Therapanth data pertaining to the Jaina prosopography project. She is also appointed as assistant professor at Jain Vishwabharati Institute, London, India. Currently, she is serving as head nun of the Jain World Peace Center, Jain Vishwabharati, London, and is authorized Preksha Yoga and meditation teacher. She initiated a rural development project in Tamkor, Rajasthan, and established Mahapragya International School there. She worked there for education of underprivileged girls in Rajasthan. Before inviting Samniji, I thank Bhartiben Rohitbhai Shah for sharing with us the story of how her family decided to donate Rohitbhai's organs when he passed away. This story is included in this leaflet that we say here. Now I request Samniji to launch the JHOD leaflet, A Jain Perspective on Organ Donation. Thank you.
I pay my homage to Vitrag Bhagavan Mahavir, Reverend and respected brothers and sisters. I would like to start with Holy Naukar Mantra. Om Reem Namo arhantanam. Om Rim Namo Siddhanam. Om Rim Namo Ayariyanam. Om Rim Namo Uvajjayanam. Om Rim Namo Loe Sabbasahunam. Isu Panchanamukaru Sabbapavapanasano Mangalanam cha Sabbesing Padhamam Havai Mangalam. Padhamam Havai Mangalam. I bow to the Arhat, enlightened ones. I bow to the Siddha, liberated ones. I bow to the Acharya, the religious heads of the congregation. I bow to the Upadhyay, religious teachers. I bow to the all monks and nuns in this universe. This fivefold salutation is auspicious amongst the all auspicious, and it is pious and pure. So, in this winter night, you have taken a light, many heart, light, and that light is enlightening many lives. So first of all, I would like to launch this brochure, which is brought to us by this JHOD.
Shamini ji, thank you so much. I am having difficulty hearing you, so can you maybe just project your voice slightly? Would that be okay?
Yeah, it is full volume. Is it okay? Now you listen me?
Yes, that's much better. Thank you.
Okay. So this brochure is enlightening many lives. So here we have what is here. So first of all, let me launch it. And I'm honored that you have invited me for this brochure launch. Organ donation and religious belief. It is a guide. And here, some comments from the Jain religious and community leaders. So I'm happy to tell you the awareness is shared. So what it is, how we can do, how we can care with respect. And again, a photograph which itself showing the path. They made a path in their own way. So Rohit Bhai's organ donation made an example. You can enlighten many lives in this life. And again, the third page of this brochure is interesting. Here we have Shantinath, Bhagwan's story and past life. Normally, when people are in disease, in distress, we try to enhance the peace within the name of Shantinath Bhagwan. Om Namo Shantinathaya, Sarva Shantikaraya, Sarva Vigna Pranashanaya, Sarva Rogopamrityu Vinashanaya, Sarva Parakrit Kshudro Padra Vinashanaya, Chrom, Wang, Mang, Hang, Shang, Tang, Yang, Shim, Hansah, Aisi Ausa, Mam Sarva Shantim Kuru Kuru Swaha. So this is Shantinath mantra, and here we have the past life story of Shantinath Bhagwan, how in this episode, how he used his own body parts to save a pigeon's life. And here we are initiating this work with save your own fellow human being's life. And then we have then religious Jain leaders' comments and thoughts. So I myself respected Param Pujya Bhai Sri Nalin Bhai Kothari from Sri Rajchandra Dharma Shashan and Param Pujya Sadhvi Sri Shilapi ji from Viraitan. So all these comments are guiding light for the community. When community leaders and religious leaders promoting something, so my belief, being a Jain nun in Therapant sect, Acharya Bhiksu, following the path of Bhagavan Mahavir, guided us that take responsibility because you are a human being. You are a responsible being. So don't mix everything with religion. Religion and society are two hands, and one side we cannot neglect the society, family, or a person because this is something social responsibility. And if a family man, if a society is unaware of their duties, they cannot reach to the zenith, they cannot touch the peak. So it is important to create an environment, create an awareness. Today's program is big event in a small way that we can create an awareness, and that awareness is making a change in our society. Society members are very much aware about the donation of wealth, donation of land, donation of education, creating so many chairs and creating scholarship and giving out their money and for the sake of Jain religion. But this is something where you take the social responsibility, society around you. You are not a nucleus, you are not a one person. We are a wider web, and in that web, we have to play our role. So take social responsibility through the organ donation. So I wish you all a very happy, successful drive, and this brochure will guide you all, one and all. So I pay my homage to Bhagavan Mahavir and Reverend Acharya Shri Mahashamanji, and I would like to thank JHOD, Jain Hindu Organ Donation Organization, that you are doing a fantastic social responsibility. Carry on this light, and this light be let more light in this society. Om Arham. And thank you giving me this honor, inviting tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shamniji, for helping us to launch this important publication, which, as you explained, will do much to inspire people in our communities to think about what you have just called social responsibility. And of course, that is so true. We are going to hear now who has won our next category, which is the 8 to 11-year-old entrants. And to introduce the winners of this category, I want to introduce Neeraj Doshi, who is part of our steering group, part of our communications group, and doing a fantastic job. He's a 5th-year medical student who is doing an incredibly difficult work at the moment with the NHS, but still finds time to promote organ donation because he has a personal story and a personal connection to this, which we will see later in the film, which we are going to see. So thank you very much for staying with us. And Neeraj, if you'd like to tell us who has won the next category, please.
Yeah, sure. Good evening, everyone. Oh, sorry, I just lost my screen there for a second. Thank you very much for joining us. It's great to see all of you online, and especially all of our entrants. I was really, really blown away by all of your entries. I know I seem a lot older than all of you, but I'm really not. So it wasn't actually that long ago that I was in primary school, and I can confidently say that I wouldn't have been able to produce anything close to what any of you have made. So well done, and I hope you enjoyed making your pieces of art for the competition. So I'm going to show you some of the entries that we received in this category. So this is the 8 to 11-year-olds. So we've got some really, really beautiful entries. So you can see Nia Shah's moving masterpiece there. We've got a really nice entry from Nikki, some lungs from Arna Jain, and a fantastic head from Tegbir Singh. So I was just so impressed when I was looking at all of these. It was it kind of put me to shame because I definitely couldn't make any of them. And I just want to ask one of our judges, Minu, if she's around and okay to say a few words, just to say what she thought of all of these.
Hi everyone. It was fantastic, very difficult decision to make, really impressive. I mean, when I was at school, I wouldn't be able to produce anything near to that. But we were really impressed with all the work. In fact, a lot of you are so creative with your videos, with the way you've put together organ donation, talking about recycling, using interesting materials. It was just amazing, really, really good work. So everyone, congratulations for, even if you haven't won tonight, it's about the participation. So congratulations, everyone.
Thank you very much. So without further ado, I'm going to tell you who the winners of this category are. So just to remind you, I'm going to announce these ones, then we're going to have a watch of our video, announce the next category, and then the overall winner. So stick around until the end. So the runner-up for this category is Nikki. Well done, Nikki. This was an absolutely amazing use of I think, bottle tops to create just such a fantastic, colourful piece of art. So well done, Nikki. Do we have you online? I'm not sure if I saw you. I don't think she's here with us at the moment, but we'll make sure that she gets her certificate and vouchers in an email. And the winner of this category is Arna Jain. I can see we've got a very happy family there, so just ask you to unmute and come on camera if you would.
Okay. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I really enjoyed doing it.
Oh, we're glad
I
you had.
have learned a lot about organ donation.
That's really good, Arna. Thank you so much for taking part. We thought you made a really, really nice pair of lungs using a milk carton. It was just so creative. So well done. We're all very proud of you, and we'll make sure that you get your certificate and your voucher in an email.
Thank you so much. We are so obliged. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Ah, that's really nice. So I'll just hand back to Prafula briefly to introduce this film.
Thank you, Neeraj. Congratulations to Nikki and to Anna. Two very beautiful pieces of sculpture there using recycled materials. So it's my pleasure actually to introduce this film, which was made to promote organ donation during Diwali. It premiered at a really fantastic event in Trafalgar Square, which was Diwali in London. And then it was released more widely after that. So the film features 4 really powerful stories of people who have been touched by organ donation. And they're young people who have either been a donor family, or they've received a transplant, or know somebody who unfortunately didn't receive the transplant in time. I'd like us all to look at this film and then listen to the final call to action that appears in the film. So Neeraj, if you're ready, could you please share it? Thank you.
Diwali.
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 Diwali
is the
Perfect time.
to bring light
into somebody's life.
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 I remember the day really well. He'd managed to grab the cord of the blind at the back of the living room. He put it around his neck, and about 8 minutes later, he eventually suffocated.
My dad was 63 years old. One day he collapsed after having a stroke, where it became apparent that he was not going to survive.
My dad was diagnosed with kidney failure. He always had the hope that he would eventually get a kidney transplant, that he would be able to see me and my sister grow up. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. He died waiting.
I recall them telling us that the swelling on Ari's brain had gone quite severe. After that, every organ would stop or fail. And I remember then Sina said, save every organ, allow his organs to help others.
One of the questions that arose was that he was diabetic, had heart disease and high blood pressure, and whether he would be able to donate. And the specialist nurse explained that they would do all the checks.
The role of the specialist nurse is for us to come in and work alongside the intensive care doctors and nurses and support the family in making that decision.
Ari's surgery lasted 5 hours. They took 7 organs in total, including his heart. They would transplant them into 2 children.
My dad was able to donate 2 organs, a kidney and a liver. He was able to save 2 people's lives.
Hi, I just wanted to announce that I have had a kidney transplant. Thank you to everyone who has supported me.
There's not a day that goes by that I don't wish he was here. But I find strength in the fact that he will always remain a hero for those 2 children and for their families. And for that, I choose to celebrate.
I can confidently say that this transplant has significantly improved my quality of life. I can now do things such as go to university and not feel tired out or overwhelmed by the long days. My story is proof that organ donation can change somebody's life. And I think it's really important to continue having the conversation about organ donation with your friends and family and staying opted in to be an organ donor.
If you were suddenly in a position where you were about to lose your loved one, would you know what their decision was in whether they wanted to be an organ donor? That's why it's so important to have that conversation with your family and friends right now.
Thank you, Neeraj, for sharing that. And I just want to thank everyone that took the time and appeared in that film to tell their story. A really powerful film that was shared, as I said, launched at Diwali in the square, in Trafalgar Square, and then has been shared really widely in the community to encourage more people to have these conversations amongst their families. The story of Ari particularly touches a lot of people's hearts, and I'm sorry if the children watching today found that a little bit too much, but actually Ari leaves a fantastic legacy, and he did save 2 lives, 2 children's lives who are doing very well thanks to his gifts. We also want to thank Sheila Rabadia for appearing in that film and talking about her father, and Neeraj, of course, talking about his dad, and then Harpreet, who gave up her time to talk about her role as a SNOD and how she meets families like Bharti Ben and her family to actually talk about organ donation in the context of donating organs at a very difficult time for families. Thank you everyone for supporting that film, and do keep watching it because it's on YouTube. Do keep sharing it with people as well. Right, so we are going towards our final category from the competition, which is the winners of our 12 to 18-year age group. And this, actually, I think of all of them, this was probably the hardest category to judge. And I just want to introduce you to the short list of entries and the pieces of work that was done. So we had an entry from Kaya Jain, as you can see, a kidney, Millie Desai, Riya Shah, and Sahana Nagasundar. Really innovative pieces of work here, using a lot of recycled materials. And I particularly like that entry from Sahana, so simple yet so effective. And I think I'm going to actually go to one of our judges to tell us what they thought of this age group and the entries that they judged. So I'm going to go to Dr. Sunil Daga, who joined us as a judge alongside the panel. And Sunil, can you tell us more about these entries?
Thanks, Prafula. I mean, as you quite rightly said, they were absolutely amazing. And I think this category, they use so many material to convey the message of not only the organ donation, but also the climate change and recycling. So they've done a fantastic job. We had so much of discussion within the panel to decide the winners. So I could just say we got so many amazing people, so much talent that they could convey two important messages through a piece of work that's absolutely amazing.
Thank you, Sunil Bhai. So I'm going to announce the runner-up of this category, and that is Millie Desai, with that beautiful structure there. There's so much going on there, and it's telling a really interesting story. So Millie, well done. A really good piece of work using a lot of recycled material, and also all the organs that you've drawn, really good. And the winner of this category, and don't forget, we still have to announce the overall winner of our competition.
Sorry, Prafula, we've got Millie on if you want to say a quick hello to her.
Yeah. Where are you, Millie? Can you spotlight her, please, Niraj?
Hello. Thank you.
Did you enjoy doing this, Millie?
Yeah, it's really fun.
Who collected all the recycled materials? Did you or did someone help?
I just got my mum to find some stuff, and I looked around the house.
So did you take anything that you shouldn't have?
No, not really.
No, so it was all going for recycling, right?
Yeah.
It is really lovely. Thank you so much for all the time you spent on it, and well done for entering and for being our runner-up. You'll get your voucher and your certificate shortly. Thank you very much. So our winner for this category, which is the 12 to 18-year-olds category, is this beautiful piece of work by Riya Shah. So Riya, well done. Are you with us? Are you here?
Yeah.
Hello, Riya.
Hi.
What do you think then? What do you think about winning this?
I'm quite grateful for this opportunity. So thank you.
Where did you hear about the competition, Riya?
I go to this Gujarati class where I heard about it, so I decided to take part.
Amazing. And did anyone help you, or is this all you?
My mum helped me a bit.
Well done, Mum. Is Mum there?
Yeah.
Okay, the idea was hers, and she just told me to collect the bottles lead, and but she came up with the idea and to use this wire This is the all wires we had at home, the broken wires.
Yeah. Lovely. So really good example of recycled materials. And the reason this concept works is, of course, organ donation is also all about recycling. So Ria, did you enjoy finding out more about organ donation while you were doing this?
Yes.
Yeah. And was that at Gujarati school or did you do that at home?
Oh, I did the competition. I made it at home.
You made it at home. Brilliant. Well done. And thank you so much for all the time you must have spent on this, but really well worth it. And enter again next year. Fantastic. Thank you very much. And congratulations again.
Thank you.
Right. So, I'm so excited. This is what we've all been waiting to find out. And from all the entries we had, all the entries that were shortlisted, the winners that you've heard about today, the judges had a really, really tough job of choosing an overall winner. And this is the overall national winner of this competition this year. And it is my pleasure to say the overall winner of our competition this year is 9 years old Nia Shah. Nia, are you there? Hello. Who's there with you, Nia?
Oh, me. And me.
Oh, and you. It's mom and dad. Hello. What do you think, Nia? What do you think about winning this?
She didn't. There's no words.
No words. Do you know, I'm going to go to Kiripai just for a minute to tell us why Nia was our overall winner. Kiripai?
I think, Prafula, the judges felt that, firstly, it's such a striking sculpture, yes, particularly when it is in 3D, yes, when it's shown in 3D on the video, very striking. And when she turns it and the images, and then we asked them to list the materials they used. Yes, the materials they'd used and the range of materials and the beautiful lungs which appear. Yes, you see the way that's been described. And then we also, as you know, we asked everybody to write a small piece about how they did this and what their understanding is about organ donation. So the whole thing combined, and I think we had lots of discussions in the judging panel. Oh, we can see it live there. Let's have a look at that. You want to show it again? Yeah, that's absolutely wonderful. And the way you put down organ donation on the circle and so on. I think it's a fantastic piece of sculpture, a lot of imagination, a lot of work and so on. So many congratulations to you and obviously to your parents. And I know there was lots of discussion within the judging panel, but can I just say that there was no doubt that this was unanimously our winner for the whole competition.
Thank you, Kiribai. I am actually just going to go to Minu just to say a few words, because I know this was one of your favorites as well, Minu.
It definitely was my favorite. It was, when I saw it, I thought, I really hope Nia wins. And when we had the discussion, the panel all agreed with me and I was so happy. Overall, first of all, you're 9 years old. Look at what you've created. It's amazing. Secondly, your use of recycled materials. And to put this together is just a stunning piece. It's quite unique. It really shows something different. So I think you've done a really, really good job. You should be so proud of yourself. Honestly, I really liked your piece.
Thank you.
So Nia, has Mum got anything to say?
Hi. Can't believe she won. Weren't expecting that at all, honestly, especially after she didn't win her category. But she wasn't bothered about it. She said, at least I entered. So yeah, I'm really proud of her. Well done, yeah.
Indeed, well done, Nia. And Nia wins a voucher for £250, which was our top prize in this national competition. So you better start thinking what you're going to buy with that £250, Nia. Well done, everyone. I want to thank everyone that entered this year's competition. I want to thank all the parents that encouraged their children to enter, the teachers who worked with some of the children, and we hope very much that next year we will get even more entries. We don't know what the theme will be next year, but look out for it, because we've seen some amazing, innovative, creative work, and particularly the use of recycled materials, which of course this year with COP 2030, what was happening in Scotland, and everyone talking about it. So actually it was really appropriate to be doing this theme this year. I want to thank everyone that supported the competition, all our judges who gave their time, and particularly want to also thank the Jain and Hindu Organ Donation Steering Group for all the support they've given us, our trustees, and last but not least, Shamniji for joining us today to launch the leaflet, Bharti Ben for agreeing to be featured in that leaflet with Roy Pai's story, and NHS Blood and Transplant for continuing to support our campaigns, and being a partner to some of this work that we are doing in the community to encourage people and to not just have the conversation, but actually register to donate. Should you be in that position to donate? And there's one really important point I wanted to make here, which is even if you are on the register, not everyone is going to be able to donate their organs. So I think 1% of people who register are able to do this. So the kind of numbers get smaller and smaller, and the numbers of people waiting on the waiting list are getting larger and larger. So we are all about trying to, do a bit better on that imbalance and encourage more people to come forward and register from the Jain and Hindu communities. It's interesting, Umar, you said something about, as communities, we are very giving, very benevolent, and we believe in seva. Nearly every community that we talk to talks about doing good. So I wonder why it is that we get to this stage and we say, oh, there aren't enough people who've signed up to be on the organ donation register. And there may be a number of reasons for that, and that's why JHOD exists, actually, to try and help answer some of your questions, to try and encourage more people to have events like this and talk about organ donation. And we have actually a wonderful website where you will find a lot of information about organ donation in the community. Today, the leaflet that you've seen is also going to be available from that website to download, so you can understand the faith view, the Jain faith view of organ donation. The website also has lots of information about organ donation, the law change that happened in May of 2020. And whilst people understand that actually you're now automatically deemed to be a donor unless you opt out or you're in an exempted group, what's actually happening is lots of people aren't having that conversation then with their families. So the family doesn't know that actually that is your wish. And that's why we are encouraging everyone to talk about organ donation. We did a wonderful campaign earlier in the year called Leave Them Certain, which was with Nitu Ben Shah and her family, talking about organ donation around a dining table. And indeed, those are the kinds of conversations we want to encourage people to have. So we've got Christmas coming up. I'm sure a lot of you are going to have family gatherings over Christmas. So do use that time, please, to have those conversations with family, with friends, with community, basically anyone that will listen to you, because I do. And, all of us in the JHOD steering group are very passionate about this subject. I am a live kidney donor, which some of you will know about, but that kind of gives you a very different perspective. And that was something else that Umar mentioned earlier, that unless you're touched by this, perhaps you're not so close to it. So we want to change that as well. Whether you're touched by it because somebody you know is touched by it, please find out all the information. And the place to find out the information is our website, which is all the W's, JHOD.org.uk. Thank you everyone for joining us this evening. And it just remains for me to thank my two co-presenters today, Parthiben and Niraj, who has done a superb job in keeping us to time and keeping all of the tech running. So well done, everyone. Thank you very much to every entrant, and well done to all our winners who have won today, whether they won a voucher or they didn't. And Nia, well done again. I'm going to come home to have a look at that little structure. Thank you everyone for joining. Jai Jinendra, Jai Shri Krishna, and good evening.